Hello! As I was busy eating ass and working on my VTuber model for the past month, which you can check out my stream, while doing that, I managed to miss the 3 patches where Sona was viable and moderately playable. Now that I'm back, I'll be trying my best to make her playable again. I also designed a mug and a pair of sandals to go along with the slogan. No, like for real, if you want to see this as a real thing, hit that fucking like button. And now I present to you, Don't Try This in Solo Queue, featuring Definitely Playable Sona. Before we get into the meat of things, I need to let you know that this is not an AP Sona guide. Now, to play Playable Sona, we'll need to abuse what's left of her mini rework that's not yet reverted. And here's a few examples of things that they reverted. The Q function as literally any other auto-targeted ability. As literally any one of these can target stuff in goddamn Fog of War, or charging tier every single time she buffs an ally, just like what the description of Tier of Goddess says. Unique passive, mana charge, grants a charge every 8 seconds up to 4 charges. Affecting an enemy or an ally consumes a charge, and grants 3 bonus mana. Increased to 6 if it's a champion, up to a maximum of 360 bonus mana. Sona can Q an ally to get 6 charges, and it does not even need to hit an enemy. If you're telling me the empowering part is secondary, and that the damaging part is primary, then why the fuck does Nami Q stack tier when hitting an ally? Or Sona E in Power Chord ignoring slow resistances, as Riot Games never makes mistakes. It's labeled as a bug fix, because they know if they labeled it as a nerf, the dedicated Sona main would have a backlash rivaling that of January 6, 2021. Now, as I stated, Riot Games with their 200 years of game design experience won't ever make mistakes. So these, let's just call changes, were intended to push her out of the support row, as it's only her supporting abilities that got nerfed, i.e. peel, and set up from E slow, and supporting allies with Q and E doesn't actually do anything for you. The only abilities that are yet to be reverted are the mana refunds when melodies proc on an ally, and the insane scaling passive. That comes along with the playmaking potential of her now extremely low cooldown ult. Therefore, this build should be played mid, where you have access to the entire map. Now listen closely as I'm about to go over the runes. This will complement her strengths while converting her weak ass early game to something rivaling that of Amphorax. By running Grasp of Undying, it will make up for your lack of health, and the lack of health items in this build. This unlocks the entire resolve tree for you, which you'll be needing, as again, Sona has next to no health. Next, take Shield Bash. This will allow you to not only empower your auto via your Q, it will also allow you to empower your auto via your W. Then, when you click E, you'll have your passive charged, allowing you to have 3 empowered auto attacks back to back, dealing just enough damage for the enemy to be running away with her dangerously prolapsed anus. Then, take the 12-minute contingency plan, as this will complement her strengths as a scaling champion by giving her more durability after 12 minutes when the conditioning contingency plan kicks in. Lastly, on the resolve tree, take Overgrowth, as this is also a contingency plan. As long as you're not dead and things die around you, you'll gain more health. Then open Precision and take Alacrity, as this is the 5th contingency plan. Now armed with 5 contingency plans, a bag of Doritos, a pack of beer, and my stream running on your second monitor, all that's left is another contingency plan. So take Presence of Mind, and don't forget to take these flex runes. For summoners, literally anything will do, just don't forget to actually use them early in game. Now, this is the part where I ask you to drop a sub, ring the bell, and leave a like. But if you really can't decide on what summoners to take, I'd recommend you take TP Flash, to allow you to TP back to lane after getting your boy hole resized by the enemy jungler, support, and for god knows what reason, their top laner. And now with this amazing segue to the actual items of the build, start the game with a tier and 2 reds. Then, on your first back, buy Sheen and Boots. Later build these into Muro Mana, Essence Reaver, and Berserker's Greaves. Then, build a Frozen Heart, as the mana will scale off of Muro Mana and be converted into AD. Then the AD will scale off of Essence Reaver and be converted into Mana Refund, allowing you to have infinite mana just like if you were plugging in 3 power bricks back to back. And with infinite mana, the only thing stopping you from spamming the fuck out of your abilities is their cooldowns, so pick up Novori Quick Blades to slice those cooldowns. When combined with your fully stacked passive, the cooldown of your basic abilities should be shorter than the average stick size of a Northeast Asian, which in turn also lowers your ult cooldown to near non-existent. Last but least, pick up a Rapid Fire Cannon, as Sona's base attack range is painfully small. With this, it will extend your attack range by about a mile, allowing you to deal a massive amount of damage as if you're playing borderline worthless Shotgun Sona, or cockblock the enemy by reducing their damage output by 25%, or mildly inconveniencing the enemy by slowing them. If the game hasn't ended by now, be sure to report your team for being shit, and pick up a Gale Force to make up for the lack of dashes in Sona's kit. Okay, I'm done. Check out my stream and Discord if you want to.